A few weeks ago, we started work on this ZX Spectrum to get it up and running and enjoy some 8-bit gaming. Well, today we're going to finish that project with the Composite Video Mod and hopefully get this thing fully working and actually playing some games. If you remember at the end of the last time we looked at this, we were getting quite a rubbish video out over RF, and it was definitely a green tinted as well, which was a bit odd. So the first thing I wanted to do is the Composite Video Mod. If you don't know, basically the Spectrum actually outputs composite video anyway, and then feeds that signal into an RF modulator to then send it out over aerial. So we can actually completely bypass that and then just use a normal composite video input on a TV. Also, if you didn't watch the last video, unfortunately my CRT has died, so we do have a flat panel, but at least we have composite video, so we should be able to get a pretty clean signal out of it. There is some soldering required to do this, and it's probably been nearly 10 years since I did any soldering. Almost certainly at university was the last time I did that. But it seems like it's a very simple mod. Essentially, you just have to desolder 2 wires and solder in a new wire. So let's give it a go and let's see how we get on with my first attempt at soldering in a very long time. That actually went pretty well. I did record it, but I'm not sure how well it came out on footage. Trying to solder for the first time in a long time and also record yourself doing it wasn't necessarily the easiest thing in the world. However, it was a very, very simple mod. And yeah, even if you're a complete beginner like myself, I think you'll be able to get on with this. And essentially now on our board, we now have this little cable that's running from that video, the composite video signal from the board itself, and going straight into the plug as opposed to going through the RF module. So that's all done and working perfectly. We do still, however, have that green tint on the screen, which is very annoying. Now, hopefully what we can do is with these 2 variable resistors here, we can actually tweak those to get it back into the right signal. It's probably happened as these are drifted somewhat. So it's going to take a little bit very careful tweaking, and from everything I've seen online, you have to be very delicate with this. You have very small changes. Ideally, they say use like a multimeter or something to actually see the signals changing, but I don't have one, so we're just going to play it by eye, run it on the screen, and see how we get going. And yeah, hopefully we'll then be ready to actually use this thing. All right, so I didn't film that because it was very, very tricky and small and you weren't really going to be able to see. But nonetheless, if we look at the screen, we do now have a pretty good clean signal. It could still be a little bit better. The camera is not particularly happy, but trust me, visually in person, it looks a lot better than it does on the screen. Yeah, I think this is as good as we're going to get. I'm happy with this signal. So we're going to get the keyboard back on here, get it all back together. And then I want to have a look if we can use this to play games with. Okay, so we are all screwed back together, up and running, and happy with that. Still getting a good signal out. If it drifts, we'll have to take it apart and tweak it again. That's fine, and maybe eventually replace those variable resistors. But what else have we got for our ultimate Spectrum setup? Well, one thing that people commented on with the last video was how heinous it was that I'd muted the audio. So you couldn't hear the buzzers and beeps when I tried to load a game. So because we're now using the composite video out, we don't have audio over the port, but we can use the mic out port. So I've got a couple of speakers here set up through the mic out port. So we're going to have audio, which is cool. And that's all set up. Another thing that I managed to pick up is this Spectrum joystick interface, which is essentially a very simple one joystick interface. It plugs into the expansion port on the back and gives you that joystick port. We have a joystick. It's nothing special. It's actually quite rubbish. Boss precision engineered. Yeah, okay. It's all right. It'll do the job. So that'll be fun. And yeah, like I said, we have this thing. So this is a Android device. It labels itself as an MP3 player. We got this in our last video from TikTok Shop. This cost about £35. And the most important thing about this is it actually has a 3.5mm output. So there is an Android app available that allows you to play the audio files of Spectrum games. And I'm hoping that because this actually has an audio out, it will work with this and actually load the games. I did try it with my Samsung Fold, but using the USB-C to 3.5 adapter, that didn't work. I wasn't able to get Spectrum to actually load the games. So we're going to try it with this. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's an app called Play ZX. And also crucially, the app is available from their website. You don't have to use the Play Store. This thing I've kept my stuff logged out of, if you remember. A little bit suspicious about it. But as a dedicated game library of the Spectrum, this might work quite well. Now, I've favorited a couple of games here that people have recommended. So we're going to give them a go. We're going to see if it will load the games and try and play some stuff on this now, especially now we have a good, clean video out. So first things first, let's get this plugged in. And yeah, literally just plugs into the expansion port on the back here somehow. Like that. And then it gives you a joystick port in a bit of a weird location. It's going to go over the keyboard, but that's fine. We'll plug in and give it a go. Like so. We can kind of run it around so it's a little bit out of the way of the keyboard. And then we've got our MP3 player with our audio, which will go into the audio port on the back to load games. And I think we are good to give it all a go. So first things first, what game are we going to be trying first? Set Willy is the first game on my list. So we will give that a go. Let's get everything kind of in shot. Well, the TV in shot at least. Anyway, so we need to press load and then we do shift and we do that. And then we can play the video file, the audio file rather, on our MP3 player. And look at that, it is loading it in. Okay, so yeah, we now actually have to wait 3 minutes for the game to load. But it's working, it's making noise. I am going to turn that down for a second. One thing I didn't really think about was with consoles like this that load from tape, but don't have any control over the tape player, you're literally just taking the audio source in, you have to wait for the whole file to load. You have to wait for the whole game to be loaded into memory. So yeah, you literally have to wait 3 minutes for this game to load, which is wild. And it's not saved anywhere. As soon as you pull out that power cable, you have to do it again. I don't know, it's a very different world. It's kind of crazy, but also kind of cool. So we're going to give it a go. We're going to play some games, and yeah, I'll be back with you in 2 minutes time. Future me just dropping in to say, if you're enjoying this video, please do hit that like button and subscribe. Less than 5% of you are currently subscribed. So please, if you're watching this video, you've made it this far, hit that subscribe button. We've got lots more content coming very soon. Thank you very much, and on with the video. All right, so we are all now loaded up. The game has finished loading. And the reason why I wanted to check out this game specifically, we aren't actually going to be able to play it, at least not today. And that's because this actually has a form of DRM in the 80s. Essentially, it came with a card, the actual physical game, and on that card was a grid of colors and numbers and all sorts of stuff. And you basically have to enter the code that's at a specific grid location. And that grid location is randomly generated each time you play the game. you have to enter that to be able to play the game. So the idea is you couldn't copy the tape, give it to someone else without giving them your card, and at least they wanted those cards to not be kind of repurposable because they were colored and weird and whatever. But yeah, so we're not playing this game today. I just wanted to load it up because I think it's kind of fun and interesting. Even back then, you know, DRM was being a nuisance. I get it. They didn't want people copying tapes. Tapes were very easy to copy, but still very annoying. And until I look up the grid, I can't play this. So we're going to move on. Let's get the next game loaded up. Alright, so next up we have a game called Elite, which looks incredibly complicated. Actually, in the box, it came with an overlay to put over the keyboard to highlight what each button did because it used so many different buttons. So I'm not even sure if I can, like, start this game. I've got no idea whatsoever what I'm supposed to do. Let's have a look at the instruction manual online. It looks like maybe it hasn't loaded properly. That's a little annoying. At least this isn't what we're supposed to be seeing according to the manual. Okay, well, it seemed like it was going to be an overly complicated game for someone that's never really played many 8-bit games anyway, so let's move on. Alright, here we go. Horace Goes Skiing, a game that a lot of people recommended. I'm very interested to see how this goes. Okay, well, to start with, it's working. Now, there are arrow keys on the keyboard. Oh, yep. Can I use the joystick? No, the joystick doesn't work, but that's okay. So we can go left and right, and I'm guessing we want to get down to the skis because he wants to go skiing. So, oh, okay. And there was an ambulance fee of $10, which seems very cheap. Right, so how am I going to do this without getting absolutely mullered by... It's like an extreme version of Frogger at this point. Pretty cool graphics, though, I must admit. Oh, and got run over by a motorbike. So essentially it looks like I have 4 lives, because I start out with $40, and an ambulance costs... Okay, this is pretty brutal. This is a good... Hey, I made it. Okay. Horace, get your skis. Okay, it cost me... Do I have to go back now? Maybe. That seems like that's what it wants me to do. I should be using Q. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, Q is up. Z is down. Oh, and now we are skiing. Oh, okay. What am I? I and P. I and P. Oh, okay. Oh. Go, Horace, go. Oh. Oh, my skis are still okay. Okay. I'm still going. I'm still going strong. Oh, did a jump, I think. I don't know. Oh, this is good. This is good, though. Okay, okay, okay. I'm getting the understanding of this game now, though. At least I am skiing. I'm getting some score. I've got no idea what's a good score, but you know, we ain't got to worry about that right now. Right now, we just got to worry about skiing down the slope. Oh, I missed. And that's the game. We just go again. Okay, that is pretty cool. And we get run over. But you know what? This is definitely... Now I know what the controls are. Sorry, no money, no skis. No! Okay. Let's play one more time. Game over. But this is a lot of fun. I could definitely play this for hours, try and beat my score. Okay. And we are loaded. So the final game I wanted to look at was JetPac, and that's because it has joystick support. And as you can see, you can actually configure whether you have 1 or 2 players, keyboard or joystick. So we're going to change over to joystick and we're going to give it a go. Again, I think it's going to be quite a brutal game, but we're going to try nonetheless. Oh. I think the audio is a little messed up. Could be wrong. Could be how the audio is supposed to be. Oh, I am. So basically I'm trying to rebuild my ship, and I mean, I don't know if it's just that this particular joystick is pretty rubbish, but we seem to be definitely struggling to avoid stuff. Okay, now I need to grab, I'm guessing, the few. Oh, okay, we've got like upgrades and stuff going on. We've got fuel. Yep. Oh, I see. We've got to fuel up the whole thing. Oh, geez. Okay. Oh, I think I've got one more life, one up. Yeah. Can I grab this? Okay. Oh. I've got one more, I think. I need to get one more. Come on. Come on, little Mr. Jetpac man. You can do this. Hey! And of course, we're just going to a new level, I'm guessing. Boop. Oh yes, new level, new bosses, new enemies, new need for fuel, and that's game over. Okay, let's play one more time, see if I can beat my score. I definitely feel like this is the kind of game that is best played with a joystick. Maybe a better one than the one I have, but nonetheless, playing with a keyboard and stuff would be a little bit finicky. Oh. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Otherwise, I could actually play that forever. It's a lot of fun. Okay, well, there we have it. I would call that a success. I would say this is up and running, like as new as it can be. Plus, I still love the transparent case we got for this. And this thing, this MP3 player, yeah, this is brilliant. Just purely as a way to load any Spectrum game that I want for 35 quid, I'm happy with that. It's small, it's convenient. Yeah, it goes really well together. I'm really happy with this setup. I can now go wild with all the 8-bit programs available to me and play some games and have all that sort of fun. Yeah, really happy with that. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know I've enjoyed putting it together. If you do have any games that you love from this era on this machine, let me know, comment down below, and I will definitely check them out. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.